What's up, guys, and welcome back to Planners and Wine. My name is Myra.
And I am Megan. Welcome back to another week, guys.
Welcome back. Is it April where y'all at
It will
in
be
the
almost
future?
April by the time this comes
Oh,
out.
it's the 31st.
Yes,
Almost April, yay.
I
The
know.
end of Q1. Can y'all believe that?
So crazy, so crazy. This year
Yeah.
is just flying by already. We are into the springtime, getting so close to the summertime, and it's exciting. And I am so ready to be done with winter. I don't think I've ever been this ready to be over the winter time. Like it literally snowed in Nashville like 3 weeks ago, and I was like, "Why? What's going on? What's going on? It's March."
It snowed here last night. It didn't stick or anything, but I'm ready for spring.
Yep.
Like when the time changed and everything, it's just like I just felt so much better. It's like we were coming out of that winter coma or whatever.
I know, seriously, seriously. And now I've been seeing some rumblings about, and I know they just passed a bill in the Senate to get rid of daylight savings time so that starting next year it would permanently be like this, where the sun goes down super late. And that's what I want because man, it's depressing when the sun go down at 5 o'clock and you've been at work all day. It is
Girl,
depressing.
and when you have to like travel back from work
Oh,
in the
oh,
dark, like I
in the
came
dark.
here, it was dark, and I leave and it was
Yeah.
dark, like
The whole day
no.
is gone.
Mm-mm.
The whole
Mm-mm.
day is just gone. Like it's so depressing. So yeah, I am very much for that. I really don't trust our government to do anything right. So we'll see if this if this ends up actually becoming into law. But I am hopeful. I really am because I love it. I love the sunlight. I am a night owl, but yeah, I love the sunlight. It's just easier to work and to function in the sunlight. I can't even lie.
Yeah, I'm just ready for warmth, ready to
Hmm.
be able to like work outside and go back and
Yep.
work at Starbucks and all that stuff.
Yes, yes, same, same, same. So we're gonna start off this episode just talking about some life updates. We love all the feedback that we have gotten from our Go Wild series. Shout out to our girl Laura because that was actually her idea. Gotta
Mm-hmm.
give credit where credit is due. And at first I was like, I don't know. I don't think I want to talk about Go Wild for 3 weeks, but girl, here we are. And we talked about this shit for 3 weeks. It was so much to talk about,
Yeah.
so much to go through. We did it, and you guys absolutely loved it. So definitely look out for that in the future. We'll just keep doing it that way because there's just so much to cover. You're really not gonna even get to it all in one episode. And you
For
guys
sure.
enjoyed it. Y'all have enjoyed it, and our patrons have just gone crazy over the bonus episode, where we were just spilling all the Go Wild tea, like all of it. So shout out to the patrons.
Yeah, but not really. So you don't have to hop away for $5 to think you about to get everything. Just saying. Don't do that.
I
It's not
mean,
worth it.
the key to getting the maximum benefit from Patreon is definitely consistency. Hopping in for a
Mhm.
month just to get a little quick tea is really not going to give you what you think it is.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the
that's
bonus
facts.
episode is like it's I love it. I'm sure the Patreons love it, but I'm sure they get way more from all the other things that we do
I think so too.
on our Patreon for
I think
sure.
so too.
So
I
I
think the
mean, if
bonus
you
episode is like the cherry on top of the Sunday,
yeah.
but the Sunday is
Hmm.
still lit. The Facebook
Yeah.
group, the meetups, the live episodes, all that
Hmm.
together is everything. Because our Facebook community that we have built with you guys is absolutely amazing. It's my favorite thing about Facebook. It's the only reason I get on Facebook. And I just love how much people enjoy it and always have such positive things to say because it's just a good safe space for you to come and be yourself and talk about the things that you care about. No judgment, nothing like that. So yeah, shout out to the patrons for helping us to build that awesome community.
Yeah, y'all are the best for that. I was
Hmm.
randomly scrolling through the group one time and it was like there was a candle post, there
Hmm.
was a post about the planner community, there was like a life update post. Like it's such a dynamic in that
It is.
group.
Hmm.
We just not talking about just planner stuff. So
Right.
I love it.
Yep.
It's so dope.
Me too. Me too. So yeah, on to the life updates. Myra, what is going on in your life right now that you would like to share?
Um That I would like to share. I can say this here. I am redoing my office slash craft room because I kind
Mhm.
of right now I just have one desk. I do, my work stuff here, podcast stuff here, create stuff here. And I'm kind of wanting to like separate the two. So have a
Mhm.
space for work and a space for, the fun work that I do.
Mhm. Mhm.
So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm low key thinking about making it somewhat of a series because we love a good series over
Yes,
here,
we
apparently.
do.
Over on Instagram, maybe putting it in like an IGTV. It'll be like a, 3 to 5 minute
Mhm.
kind of series thing, just kind of letting people know the process because I love DIY and stuff and love decorating, organizing, all that
Me
stuff.
too.
So I'm thinking about doing that, but I don't know. I haven't made a decision yet. But yeah, that's all that's going on right now.
Yes,
Everything
I'm
else is
so
the same.
excited.
The kid's
I'm
still
so
alive.
excited. I'm
Yeah.
happy that Ashton is still alive, but I'm super, super
Yes.
excited to like see how you like redo like your craft and work area. I think it's gonna be great. And I think you're right. Like that separation is important. So you'll have like a dedicated space where you can work and do those things, and you don't have to clear your whole desk when you're ready to craft or make a video. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Because that is what I have to do now, and it is ghetto.
Mhm. 0 out of 10. Do not
0 out of 10. Do
recommend.
not recommend. I thought it would be great, but nope. Mm-mm. But
Mm-mm.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, I don't know.
Sounds
I might
amazing.
put a poll up later on, see what y'all think if that's something y'all be interested in. But yeah,
Hmm.
that's where I'm at.
We're
That's
interested.
it.
We're interested. I can speak for the
Oh,
crowd.
okay. Meg,
Girl,
Meg
nobody's gonna
answer for
vote.
y'all.
No, we don't want to see your craft room. Girl, bye.
I don't
Girl,
know.
bye.
Some people be rude on the internet.
You think so? But we can see who votes. Like, I feel like that is something we don't
They
talk
don't
about
care
enough. How I think the girls on Instagram need to know we can see everything. We can see when you're lurking in our stories. We can
on
see
the
when you're lurking in
lives.
the lives. Like we can see when you're voting no, like an a-hole on polls. We see all that. So, keep it a little bit cuter. Like clean it up, people. Cause y'all being
I,
sloppy. Y'all getting a little
yeah,
sloppy.
yeah, that's true. I don't know if it's. I don't know. Sometimes I am a little petty, and I would vote no on something that I know everybody just to be that 1%.
I can't
So maybe
do.
that's how other people do. But it's stuff like, oh, do you like this sticker? And I'm like, no. It's like not like gonna hurt anybody's feelings that I vote no.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's fine. That's fine. You
It's
know
just
what?
me
I
being
think
petty.
I was like a little petty last week because there's somebody on there's a lot of people, but there was one particular person who just continues to use her platform to rail against Patreon, not failing to acknowledge that Patreon is just a great resource for us smaller Black creators to be able to make some money because a lot of brands don't want to pay smaller Black creators. They just don't. But Patreon is a great resource to where we are basically funded by our audience. You know what I'm saying? And they are given content and extra things in return for that. But some people don't respect that. This in particular person, they have put on their story something about do you think Patreon is stupid or something like that? And I definitely went out of my way to go to that person's page and say, no, I don't think the Patreon is stupid.
Oh yeah, I did that too. I'm
Uh-huh.
glad we're on the same level of petty.
Always, always, always.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of privilege in there to not even think about, the
It's a
systematic reason why Patreon is a good place for people like us.
it's a
You know,
lot of privilege in
yeah,
there. And
yeah,
obviously, and we can, I mean, I guess we can we'll talk about it. Let's finish life
yeah.
updates and then we
Later,
can
yeah.
do a impromptu conversation about why Patreon is not stupid. Uh I can't. But yeah, okay. So life update for me. I just got a new full-time job. I'm so
Yeah.
excited, guys. Like I wasn't sharing how truly grueling the job search was. Like trying to find the right job for you is literally a full-time job in itself. Like I was literally living on LinkedIn, applying to so many positions, didn't get some roles that I really thought were right for me, got offered some roles that were absolutely not right for me, and I'm really happy and proud of myself for like really sticking to my guns, like having the support from like my family and friends to do that until I found the role that worked the best for me. So now my full-time job is social media. And I stand that. Like, I love that for me because I love social media. And I'm so excited about this opportunity. So thank everybody for all y'all well wishes. I know a lot of people were messaging me talking about job hunting and y'all are going through similar things. And my advice is just stick to your guns. If you can, if you're able to, if you're privileged enough to not have to settle, don't. And if you do have to settle, let that settle in just be temporary. And in the background, work the job that you have to have for whatever period of time you have to have it. But in the background, still be working and networking and making moves and hustling to try to find that perfect position for you, because your career is just too big a part of your life to be miserable. And that's really is the mindset that I had going into this job search. Like, I want to really start my career and do something that's going to make me happy and not dread going to work every day. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is very sound advice. I am so happy. I actually love the role too, because when Meg first got there, they flooded her with all these memes. And
They
if you know
did.
me, and if you talk to me, I live my life through memes. So I'm
She
like,
does.
this is the perfect job.
I
And
know.
it was so epic. They were personalized memes too.
They were
So it was like so dope. So
so dope.
and her manager's black. So yeah, it's the
And
place
a
for her.
millennial. I could just
Yeah.
cry. I've never had a manager that
It's
was
the place for
millennial.
her.
Like, no shade to the boomers or whatever, but the fellow millennials just get it in a lot of ways. And not all my managers have been bad or anything, but it's just something about having somebody who is around your age range, who can truly relate to you and what you're going through, and how much we want to work from home and not be stuck in the office, and how much work-life balance is important to us. You know what I'm saying? Like, she gets that.
Sure.
So I'm super, 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 super thankful. Yeah. Also, in that, I got like a new little setup. I got a new laptop, a new monitor. Y'all can see my background is a little different. I shifted where my desk was in the room. So, we just got some new things going here. Myra got her new setup on the way, and we about to be in 4K on y'all bitches.
Well,
So
period. Period. We just in 2K right now because half the show isn't in 4K yet. But it's gonna get here. Yeah, they're delivering mines at 3. So once we get done with this podcast, so
yes.
next week it'll be a little bit better, and that pushes me to finish this room and not procrastinate too.
There we go.
To have
Because
that
your
computer.
new
Yeah.
setup deserves a spanking new, beautiful room to go with it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yep. Yep. I totally agree. Wow. So what did you order? Did you order it last night? It's getting here so quick. You ordered
Yeah,
it
I
yesterday,
ordered it
right?
last night.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it's
wow.
literally being delivered from the store.
I love
They were
I
like,
love technology.
you can wait for free. It'll get here Wednesday, or you can pay $9. Girl, give me $9 and
Give
send
me
it
my
tomorrow.
computer.
It's
Like,
gonna
why is
cost
this
me
a
nine
question?
dollars in gas to drive out there to pick it up. So just get the computer.
Girl,
Here's a
damn near
9.
more than that. Damn near more than
Yeah, at
that.
this point, yeah.
That's so crazy. That is so crazy. But yay, I'm so happy. Yeah, we in 2K right now, but we getting there, y'all.
Yeah, we getting there. It's loading.
I love
4K
it.
loading.
That's a great show title. 4K loading.
4K loading. Oh my god. Do y'all love how we
Love
come
it.
up with the titles, y'all? Like, it just be on the fly.
It really does. It really does. Like, I feel like a lot of podcasting is, planning and all that. But I feel like some of the best things that have at least come out of our show has just been, shit this off the dome. You can't
Ooh,
plan for every moment. You know
like
what
your
I'm saying?
iconic moment in last week's show.
Girl,
Everybody talking about that iconic moment.
I did not want to be talking about
And that was on
Nazis
that was an ad lib.
on a
That was an
Tuesday.
ad lib.
It was.
Smart.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, let's talk quickly before we go into launch season and all that. Let's just get back to that Patreon conversation, because that has been a conversation that we've seen floating around a lot. And it's just wild to me that people have such strong feelings about Patreon who are not involved in Patreon. And I guess that's just true of a lot of things. People, opinions are like, buttholes. Everybody has one. Um, but yeah, I don't understand. I wish that some of these bigger white creators would really, before they put so much criticism about Patreon out there, how they could think about how it benefits, like I said, us smaller Black creators who are not always getting the respect and the recognition and the payment from brands that we want. Like, I feel like it's so easy for certain people to sit up on their high horse with their super high following, with brands falling all over themselves, to throw money at them and judge Patreon, and the creators who use Patreon. But I don't think it's a fair judgment, and I wish they would just add some nuance to the conversation. And at least if it comes up, just be like, hey, Patreon is not for me, but I see how it works for other creators, and I'm happy for them. You don't have
It's
to
like the
go.
easiest answer.
It's such
It's
an
the
easy
easiest
answer.
answer. Yeah.
Rather than having a whole story series on your platform periodically just to rail against Patreon. Like, what's really the point of it is what I'm trying to figure out.
And this is another thing that happens when you talk about a subject broadly on social media.
Yeah.
Like, you shoot shots in a dark room, you're bound to hit people that you weren't even anticipating hitting.
Yes.
So people who you talk about, that folks that you're cool with, may have just recently launched something. Folks that you're cool with maybe following you and kind of feel away like dang, I thought we were cool.
Right.
And I don't think people are like, we're so in this mode, especially in this community, be authentic, be ourselves. Like, I'm just being, me and what I'm thinking. But you have to consider, when you go in blindly and broadly like that, that you may be shooting shots at people who actually support you and are fans of you, or that you actually care about. And then you have to go back and be like, oh no, I didn't mean it that way. And it's like, but the damage is done. Like, you broke that plate, you can't put it back together. So
exactly.
that's another thing to consider. And then, I mean, before people say stuff like this about Patreon, do they even like reach out to people with Patreons and kind of ask like, hey, how does this help you? Or, what's your thoughts on Patreon? Like, you are somebody who's actually doing it to get that different perspective. I think the people are seeing it like, oh, you're just asking folks for money.
Right.
And it's not just that. Patreon is not just that.
No, it's definitely not. And obviously to some creators, it is. Like, there are some people out there who have a Patreon and they're not offering like any additional content, bonuses, perks, nothing like that. And do I totally agree with that? No, but one, I'm not gonna spend my time and utilize my platform to rail against that, because at the end of the day, people pay for what they want to pay for. If people want to pay just to support that person and not be getting anything out of it, who am I to tell them not to do that? Like, I'm not telling anybody how to spend their coin. It goes just back to the conversation of, judging people for what planner or whatever they use. It's just like, I don't judge anybody for how they want to utilize and spend their money unless they're buying Nazi pens. Then I judge you. That is the line.
The clan ones too.
There we go. There we go. But if they want to spend their money just to support somebody or help them pick out fingernail polish color, I'm not anybody to tell anybody not to do that. Just because I'm not going to personally do that doesn't mean that. And even like with that particular situation that I was talking about from last week, clearly that person has a issue with a particular person who has a Patreon. It's not us, it's somebody else.
But they won't say no names.
Who has right, and they're not saying that. Instead, they're trying to mask their dislike for that in particular person with the Patreon for a dislike of Patreon in general. And that's
when, then you hit us.
You're hitting everybody who has that too and are not even utilizing it the same way as that person won. But it's like, it don't have nothing to do with you. However people want to use their money, if people want to use their money to support that person that you don't like, sorry. Like, what is anybody supposed to say to that? Like, why do you even care so much?
Yeah, I second all that. Like, obviously, and that's in anything. There's going to be people who, quote unquote, misuse a platform or misuse something. That's with everything. So, there is creators out there that are charging for picking nail polish. But like you said, it's just really none of my business. I realized, like, once I got in this planner community, everybody spend their money on what they want.
Yes.
Like, somebody who is a part of the gaming community would not see the value of me spending $60 on an EC, but they would spend $60 on a new game.
in a
You know
heartbeat.
what I mean? In a
Mm-hmm.
heartbeat. And
Mm-hmm.
that's probably not something that I see as value, but that's their thing. We
Yeah.
all have our thing. So why are we like basically shitting on people for
Right.
wanting to spend their like $5-10 a month to support, you know, nail
Exactly.
polish?
Exactly. And you know what? And even as far as that goes, it's just like people have no idea how truly beneficial Patreon can be to content creators. Like everything that we have been able to do with our podcast has been largely in part because of Patreon. Like, not to say we wouldn't have a podcast without Patreon, but as far as, making spinoff shows and bonus episodes and having the time and the capacity for meetups and all this type of stuff, taking this time away from our family, away from our full-time jobs, away from those things like that, we wouldn't have the capacity probably to do that if it wasn't for Patreon in a lot of different ways. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing for other content creators. Like, some people have been able to make a career doing what they love, which is creating content on the internet. And like I said, Black creators and people of color creators in particular, they would not be able to do that in some situations if it wasn't for Patreons, because brands are not studying us the way that they are studying these our white counterparts, regardless
Mm-hmm.
of following numbers. They're just not. So if we had to only depend on the mercy of brands, which even after Go Wild, brands still approaching us, expecting us to work for free, but that's neither here nor there. um, we couldn't survive and we couldn't do all the amazing things that we have been able to do without having the support of our community. So it's just like, if people's communities want to support them and believe in them and want bonus content and want to be able to do things like meetups and things like that, just let them. Like, I'm not saying you have to like it, but you can at least just respect it and shut the hell up. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean,
You know.
it's true. Yeah, Patreon is our biggest sponsor. Like,
Mm-hmm.
period. Like you said, a lot of the stuff we would not be able to do. We pay our people to be on our spinoff shows. Like, is
Yep.
this is not just a hobby at this point. Like,
Exactly.
we had to just file freaking taxes for this podcast,
Yep.
and if we're at the mercy of brands paying us to pay those taxes, we would be in jail. So Patreon is what we have to do
Yep.
to get this stuff done.
And
And
it's what we want to do too. Like, we
yeah,
don't just have to, but we also want to, because we love it and we love the
yeah,
community that we
absolutely.
have been able to build in large part due to Patreon, and able to
Hmm.
protect that community the way we are because of Patreon. Absolutely. And then obviously, like, y'all know the stories. Like, Patreon doesn't just give you 100% unlimited access to somebody. It's not buying their friendship.
Hmm.
Obviously we've become friends with a lot of people who are on our Patreon, but it's not because of that. They could stop being patrons tomorrow and they would still be some
Yeah,
of
we'll still be
our
friends. Yeah.
closest friends. Absolutely. So I think it's just a fundamental misunderstanding of the purpose of Patreon and how it helps, but it's also ignorance because you're not even trying to understand.
It's also a level of privilege too.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this a little bit before the show. Like, you kind of have this level of privilege to, one, be seen a little bit more by brands,
Mm-hmm.
and be able to gather a greater following because
Yep.
people follow who they see in themselves. And I
Absolutely.
mean, we all know this is a majority white women community.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
we're already at a disadvantage. So stuff
Mm-hmm.
like Patreon can help us to grow and support and
It helps us even the
continue
playing
to,
field for sure.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but when you are the leader of the playing field, you don't get it.
No, yeah.
You
And
feel
you
like
don't
you
want
don't.
to. And you don't
Yeah.
try to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, we'll hop off our, Patreon
Yeah.
soapbox, but
Patreon is not stupid.
it's not. That's it. That's the tweet. We're super grateful to Patreon and for our people who support us on Patreon. It's amazing. And check out our Patreon, plannersandwine.com, if you are interested, because
Come on,
we
segue.
offer lots of bonus content. But yeah, you're not picking my nail polish colors. That's just not gonna happen because I like picking my own nail polish.
Yeah.
But no shade. No
Yeah,
shade.
no shade. Yeah. Yeah, we love y'all either way. If you just
We do.
listen or
Yep.
support us on Patreon, but yeah, we just wanted to talk about that just to give a different
Mm-hmm.
perspective, hopefully. But I
Mm-hmm.
don't, I don't even think you
The
know.
people who get it. The girls who get it, get it.
Thank
And the
you.
girls who
That's what I'm
listen,
trying to say.
the
Yeah.
girls and the boys who listen to this show, they definitely get it. So we're just, this is
Preaching to
for
the choir.
this is for any of the trolls who maybe like, oh, I think they talk about so and so. Let me send it to them. So and so needed to hear this. So and so needed to hear this. And if so and so has any questions, they know where to find us. Anyway, y'all, Myra be so tired of me. I sent her this TikTok the other day, and it was like, I was like, it's our pep talk we're gonna do to each other before the next go wild. And it was like one of us like, we gonna get in here, we're gonna make this money. You're not gonna be disrespecting people, you're not gonna be arguing with people. And the other person like, no, I'm gonna do it all. It varies. Like we have our moments. Sometimes I'm the spicier one, and sometimes Myra is the spicier one. But we're always
It's
gonna
a balance.
It take a
Yeah, it's
lot
a
for
balance.
both of us to be spicy at the same time, but we'll get there if we need to.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Good impromptu topic though.
I
I
know,
love
right?
it.
Look
Yes,
at us.
I love it.
Just
Yeah.
content creating on the fly. Next thing I kind of wanted to talk about is that launch season is coming up. Guys, well, Myra, I guess fill in the people for anybody who might be new to the planning world, planning community. Can you kind of fill the people in on what launch season really entails?
This is spring launch, so most of the academic I was gonna say calendars, academic planners are set to be coming out. Usually it's within, the month of April, late March or whatever. So we are quickly approaching that. So this is usually where we get like EC launch is usually during this time, and we get their different designs, get to know what's new. Honestly, I feel like we have like the calendar launch season at the end of the year, like October, November, but I feel like the academic one is like a lot of companies are coming out with it.
A lot of, because I feel like I don't know about most people, but I know obviously there are a lot of people most students use planners for school. So academic launch season is really, really huge for students. And some people, like I know a lot of parents will use the academic year planner. So their planner can kind of be on the same schedule as like their kids, like school schedule or whatever. And I know like launch season is definitely a major, major thing for companies like EC. Happy Planner usually has like a back to school lunch is what they call it, even though it comes out in May. It's kind of crazy. but you see, they're basically trying to like get you ready for the school dated planners and to have those a lot ahead of time or whatever. So yeah, launch season is a very exciting time, but it can also be an extremely overwhelming time. So let's just kind of talk about some things that we're excited about, but also some things to kind of be aware of and to kind of help people prepare for lunch season. What are you excited about this lunch season?
I am honestly excited to see pretty planners. I'm just excited to see new designs, new layouts, new options. That's always fun for me, and it's always fun to talk about it on the show too. Yes. So I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, me too. Launch season is so exciting because people are coming out with some really amazing content. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's all about the planners for me. Like there has just been so much anticipation about what a lot of these different planners are going to look like. Because some companies, like HP, EC, they switch it up every year, so we're not just getting like a new cover or nothing. That's like the whole thing, the guts, all that is new and different, has a new theme or new multiple themes. And so yeah, it's super, super exciting, and I'm gonna try not to get overwhelmed, but I just need my perfect planner. I'm going through something right now, and I'm not having planner peace right now. I need something that really works for me. I feel like I'm kind of slowly, I can't even believe I'm saying this, I'm slowly kind of moving out of decorative planning and just more into straight functional. Like that's really what I've been doing the past couple months, is like pen and highlighters. And it's been giving what it needs to give. I'm not even gonna lie, So I don't know.
The betrayal.
Myra is so disgusted.
I am disgusted. I don't know. I feel like I always have to have some kind of decorative, but I feel you. I truly feel you on just the pens and highlighter, especially for work. It just works. Thing.
And that's the bulk of my planning, because I'm not content planning because I don't really make content, but I am work is the majority of where my planning has been coming from
Mhm.
over this, even like with freelancing and stuff. So it's just been so easy just to do, and I feel like I just haven't had the time to really like sit down and like play with my stickers and stuff, which I do need to carve that out and figure that out, because I do love that. I need to make sure I always have some aspect of decorative planning in my planning, because I do really love it and enjoy it, but it just can't be my whole thing. That's what I'm kind of figuring out. I have that
Yeah.
balance between decorative and functional for sure.
Yeah. You might need to tap into like decorative journaling.
Yeah, yeah,
That's just like maybe
yeah.
some self-care for you just to kind of create and
Mm-hmm.
jot down, your thoughts and stuff.
That's a good point. That's a
Yeah.
really, really good point. That's true. That's true. So, do you have any advice for people, like how they can prepare for lunch season? Some kind of things to like keep in mind.
Yes. Right now, stop, pause this podcast and come back to it later. Figure out exactly what is working for you and what
Mm-hmm.
isn't.
Mm,
It's so easy to get caught up in the FOMO and easy to spend thousands of dollars on just a whole new planner lineup.
mm-hmm.
But if you go in this blindly and not knowing, one, if you even need something, you might not even need anything.
That's true.
So you need to figure that out. And then two, figure out exactly what you need. Because if you sat down and think, oh, I probably need a daily, but if you go in blindly, you're going to end up buying a horizontal and a vertical, and it's
Yeah.
just not going to get used. So
Right.
take a moment, sit down, see what's working, see what you need, and then let launch season happen.
Yeah, you know what? I guess my advice, kind of to piggyback off of yours, is definitely be careful of FOMO. That fear of missing out is just so strong in this community, and that goes back to what Myra said about figuring out what you need. Go in knowing what you need, so when you see somebody with a vertical and it's looking real cute, but you know that you said you wanted a daily, and that's actually what you need, you can really try to stick to your guns and stick to your budget when it comes to that,
Mhm.
because I feel like I have gotten caught up in FOMO in the past and ended up buying more things than I needed. And yeah, it's good to, experiment and try new things to figure out what you like. But for me, at least, it just added to my confusion. Whereas if
Mhm.
I would have just stuck to my guns and only purchased what I needed, I wouldn't have been so confused. I wouldn't have been jumping back and forth between planners trying to figure out what worked. I would have bought what I knew was going to work for myself and just stuck with that. And there would have been no confusion. Because, like I said, all these options, it's so hard to make a decision when you have a million and one options. And, even though we don't quite know yet if planner of peace, really exists, we know it's not going to ever exist if all you do is just confuse yourself with a bunch of purchases and options all the time. So just really try to lock down what you need and stick to that as best you can, and try not to get caught up in the FOMO, because it can be strong.
Yeah, it really can.
Strong.
It really can. And I would say this too. It's okay if you're buying something because it's cute or it's just going to be a fun planner for you. I
Mm-hmm.
think the issue is if you're just constantly just blindly buying random things that serves no
Yes.
purpose. If it's
Yep.
going to be a fun planner for you,
Yep.
that serves a purpose.
For sure.
But just buying it because oh it's cute, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. That's the difference there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
So
totally agree. I totally agree. So yeah, guys, definitely let us know if y'all have any questions about the upcoming launch season. No, we can't tell you any like inside information about any planners or nothing like that. So just don't. But hopefully maybe we can give you some type of clarity and maybe even read your question on the show. If you have a question about how to go about launch season, we would love to talk to y'all. So definitely send an email to askpnw@gmail.com if you have any launch season questions. Before we break for the ads, Myra, what planners are you using right now?
I'm hopping back in between my vertical life planner and also the B6 Aurora Estelle for like a catch-all.
Mm,
And I pretty much transitioned my daily duo. That was supposed to be something for just at home when I work for
mm-hmm.
homes. But it's really working out for work. So that has moved over to being a work planner. So that's what I'm currently
Amazing.
using. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I just got a new half letter set up. I got some inserts from Jane's Agenda inside of my Notique, and it's given the aesthetics that I needed. Like, it's cute, it's functional. It's just giving what it needs to give. So I'm kind of using that for like my home planner. And what I think I'm gonna try to use for my work planner, I just got a 6-month daily plum paper planner. So I'm gonna try that for a work planner just because I think I have more of a need for like a daily planner for work than what I do like in my
Mhm.
normal life. I was really enjoying my hourly EC, but I think I need something with like to-do lists and things like that. So that's why I'm switching to the daily. I was very, very tempted to try the Moxie Life daily. But man, the fact that it's only 3 months, the fact that it is $58, and the fact that it's undated were all things that made me say no. But I wanted to so bad. It's so beautiful. And it's still like in the back of my mind. So I don't know. If this plum paper don't work out, I might just take that plunge and try it out. I just wish that it was longer. I wish that it was dated and I wish it didn't cost so much. Then it would be the perfect planner for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I kind of figured it was 6 months. I didn't
Mm-mm.
realize it was only 3. So it's only
They do,
quarterly.
yeah, they do have a 6 month undated, but that is like basically their flat, like the regular vertical or horizontal planner. It's not the daily. The
Mm.
daily is only available in the 3 month right now. So yeah, it is quarterly and it's $58. A
Yikes.
lot. But I love that it has like that weekly view. I feel like that's what all the other daily planners are missing is having that weekly view. So you have all your weeklies on like one weekly page at the beginning of the 7 days where you can be able to have like an overview of your week. And obviously in these other planners like the Daily Duo or like the Plum Paper, they have a page before the daily pages where you can, create like a little weekly thing if you want, but it's just not there already like it is in the Moxie Life, which really has me thinking about that. So I don't know. I might need to reach out to somebody who I know has Moxie Life Daily who can let me borrow it or try it out before I make the
Not borrow
commitment.
it.
We'll try it out. Try it out, man. Before I make the commitment because it's calling my name. It's calling my name, but I'm trying to
Mm.
resist. I really, really am. So we'll see what happens with this plum paper. So yeah. I think that's our planners for right now, guys. We'll
Yeah.
we'll keep y'all updated because obviously with lunch season coming, things are going to change.
Things
So
have to change for me because
yeah,
the 7x9 is just too big for me. So I'm
really,
hoping, yeah, I'm
yeah,
hoping for something smaller that'll fit my needs there. But
yeah.
yeah, we definitely will keep y'all posted. I do have a plum paper on the way.
Mhm, mhm.
I don't know why.
Which one did you get? Which one did you get?
It's the me. Is it May?
May
Morning
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 after. Oh yeah,
afternoon.
yeah. So it's like
Yeah.
split into like it's so it's
Hmm.
kind of similar to the EC vertical, except it has like the box is kind of splitting it
Hmm.
up. Okay, and it has lines. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's really, really a good one. So yeah, guys, those are our planners right now. We're gonna take a quick break to hear a bit from our sponsors, and we will be right back. All right, guys. So we are back. As always, if you are a small business, large business, content creator, anybody looking to get your name out there, hit us up at plannersandwine@gmail.com. We would love to work with you, give you our pricing and availability as far as ads on the show. We offer a lot of awesome things to the people that we work with, and we appreciate our sponsors so much. And so if you have something that you want to promote, and you also want to just support an amazing Black woman owned business, hit us up at plannersandwine@gmail.com.
Yes, I love that. Yeah, yeah, we love working with y'all, and
Yes.
we've been getting a lot of people coming in lately. So shout out to y'all. We appreciate y'all.
We do. Y'all definitely keep everything moving, and it's just so exciting to work with so many amazing brands and have so many amazing opportunities. We really really appreciate you guys, and also like I mentioned before, if you have a question about anything under the sun, send us a email to askpnw@gmail.com. It could possibly be read on the show. Usually we try to read those questions on our live episodes that we do monthly with our patrons so that we can get some live feedback. So it's not just us giving y'all advice. It could be a lot of different people. We have a lot of brilliant people in our Patreon, and they are happy to help as well. And we can definitely keep it anonymous if you're not comfortable sharing names and details. But keep it short. Paragraph, at the most. Like, please don't make us read a novel. It's a lot. You don't have to give every single detail. Just like give a good overview. And if we have any follow up questions, we will ask. I think that's the best way to go about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like these next topics, but let's get into it.
Girl, I know. I know. The first thing is we're gonna go through this kind of quickly because we don't want same thing. We're not trying to send any hate or negativity towards any particular person, shop, content creator, nothing like that. But a situation was brought to our attention. Y'all love giving us the tea in the DMs on Instagram, and we absolutely appreciate it. But there's a situation where it seemed like a black-owned shop stole some images from another shop. I don't know necessarily know if it was a white-owned shop or who it was from or whatever, or what the other shop's nationality or ethnicity was. But yeah, where they were stealing to, and the person who brought it to our attention was basically just like, we gotta, if black people have to be held accountable also. And it was not a white person who brought this to our attention. I'll just put that up there. Because if it would have been,
but, yeah.
I would have been like, okay, yeah, but why are you saying this? Like, sketch.
But it is facts. Everybody needs to be held accountable. Like, just don't steal. Don't steal just because it's on the internet and just because it is a printable or a freebie.
It's really
doesn't mean you get to make a profit off of that. A lot of the stuff in the specific item that was stolen says for personal use only. That doesn't mean personally go and sell it. It means use it in your damn planner and don't use it nowhere else.
It literally says that. Literally says that. And the fact that it says that, I'm assuming could possibly open that person up to a lawsuit. But come on, like, that's a lot of money for the person you're suing, and it's a lot of person for the person who's doing the suing. So it's like, why do all that when we could just not steal from each other? Or my thing is, even let's say it was an honest mistake. Let's say you didn't fully know what personal use meant for some reason, and you started doing this. When the person who you stole it from brings it to your attention, or when somebody else brings it to your attention, be open to that feedback. Be apologetic. Take accountability for your mistake or whatever it was. Don't make excuses. Don't double down. Don't just block people, and don't just move forward and pretend like nothing happened. Because the second somebody steals something from you, you're going to be all up in arms, acting a fool about it, and you're not going to have a leg to stand on, and nobody's going to care because you've been stealing. So nobody still care about people getting, like, you can't cry wolf all of a sudden now that you're getting stolen from when you've been stealing from people. You just cannot do that. So own it and take accountability and just stop. Just stop. Ay.
Yeah, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating because it's common sense. You know it's wrong when you're, doubling down and blocking people. Like, you did something wrong, and it's just why do we have to do this as creators? Like, we all know how it feels to have something taken from us, whether it was an idea, a concept, an actual product. We all know how that feels. So why are we doing it to other people?
It makes no sense.
It doesn't.
It really, really makes no sense. And it's just sad because I just feel like it's just not good for the community at the end of the day. I just feel like people should have room to be creative and to share their creativity without having to worry about somebody else trying to profit off of their hard work. You know what I'm saying? All it's doing is, making other people who might want to put their stuff out there hesitate and not do that because they don't want to get stolen from, and they don't want to get taken advantage of, basically. And it's really sad. Like, we're all a community of creatives, and everybody should be able to be creative. Like I said, if it's an honest mistake, that's one thing. When somebody brings it to your attention, take accountability for it, stop doing it, and then move on. But when you're just doubling down and making excuses and continuing to profit off of something that is stolen, like, you're not helping anybody. Like, yeah, you might have some short-term gain from it, but it's not going to be long term. You're not going to be able to make a whole career out of selling stolen stuff. At least I hope not. Like, it's just not sustainable to do that. Like, your creativity is much more sustainable than stealing from other people, because what happens when you don't have nothing to steal? Like, what Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna have to depend on yourself to come up with stuff. But then by the time you do that, so many people are gonna know that you've been stealing, and they're not gonna have any respect for you, and they're not gonna want to shop with you.
So I was looking at the thing again, and the
Mm-hmm.
irony of these stolen items being Christian stickers.
Girl, no, 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 no. I didn't even see that. So wait a minute.
Yeah.
What? They
Yeah,
are
they're praising, giving the Holy Ghost and shouting to Jesus, but it's stolen items.
That's the saddest thing I done heard in a long, long time. Wow. Mm.
He is not impressed.
Mm-mm.
Jesus
Mm-mm.
would never.
It sure does say that. I didn't even read what it says. Oh, that's even worse. But you know what? And we don't even have to go down the rabbit hole of the hypocrisy involved in Christianity.
Because I got thoughts. Let's not. Ooh, I got let's not open that can of worms because people assume my religion, and it's like, oh, okay. I just know, yeah. I have thoughts.
Just make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Jesus would never.
He would. Like, what would Jesus do? Remember that used to be a big thing. People had it on bracelets and stuff. Sometimes you got to reflect and ask yourself, what would Jesus do? And here's the thing: I just want to say, church alone is not going to save you. If you are a shitty person, but you just manage to make it to church every Sunday, you're not going to end up where you think you will in the afterlife. I'm just going to put it out there and say it like that and end it. Like, what?
Yeah, we get it there. I was like, oh, really? Man,
that's horrible. That makes it. Yeah, that. Come on. I shouldn't be surprised, but I still somehow like this. I feel like the theme of us in this community is that we shouldn't be surprised, but we always are.
It's the audacity for me.
The audacity and the levels that the audacity reaches is just crazy to me. So crazy. So crazy. Man. So I have a new segment that I'm introducing to the pod today, and it is called Republicans Are Embarrassing. Woo! We need to have like some clapping or something, some background. Because y'all, the shit show and the level of, you know what, this time it wasn't audacity, it was caucasity that these Republicans were displaying during the confirmation hearings of the amazing, brilliant, beautiful Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. And
first of all, get the name right. Get the name right.
Get the name right.
Hard. We need to start messing up their names.
Yeah,
we need to do Aaron like they did in that.
For real.
We need to start just messing up their names because it's really not hard. It's not really hard, sir.
If you care. And my thing is, we have even interviewed guests where I didn't know how to pronounce their name. First thing I did was, hey, how do you pronounce your name? I don't want to make sure I don't mispronounce it. And if you still mispronounce it, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure y'all probably heard that on the show before.
Not complicated.
You know? Yeah, it's not hard. No. And people appreciate that coming from somebody with a hard to pronounce name. Even Myra apparently is hard to pronounce.
That makes no damn sense.
As many times as I got like Myra, it's like it's spelled like it would be in English.
That makes no sense. Hard. You know what? As somebody who has a hard to spell name, apparently, because people always add extra letters to my shit, it's really not that hard to just ask somebody to clarify.
Just ask. I think people are so afraid. Well, Republicans in this case, they just don't give a fuck. But people in general are so afraid to just ask because they think they're going to offend somebody.
It's more offensive to continuously mispronounce somebody's name and to force them to have to correct you. That is the more offensive thing. Trust me.
Yeah, it's also offensive to like try to shorten somebody's name because you can't pronounce it.
Girl,
don't do that.
Girl, that's so whack. That is so whack. Okay. Anyway. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know where to start from. The embarrassing Marsha Blackburn asking her to define woman, to the absolutely uh spineless Ted Cruz asking her what did he is he the one who asked her about racist babies, or it might have been Lindsey Graham. I get them idiots confused all the time.
I thought he was talking about the book.
Yeah, I think
Then I
maybe
think it was Ted. And I was
yeah.
like, hey, for me to have a book that Ted Cruz is against, I have made it in
You're
life.
doing
This is
something
one of
right.
Ash's
You're doing
favorite
something.
books.
And get the gag is now that book has like shot to like the Amazon like bestseller list. Is like selling
It's
out
a good
because
book. Yeah.
he has basically given his endorsement of the book, because so many people are like, oh, if Ted Cruz hates it, I need to hop
I
on
need
that.
that one. Yeah.
Because that's how shitty of a person Ted Cruz is. Lindsey Graham, absolutely embarrassing as always, coming out saying he wasn't gonna vote for her. Mitch McConnell, half dead ass, saying that he not gonna vote for her. Like, it's just embarrassing, and I don't even know. Like, the fact that she is going to be the most qualified judge on the bench, and these people are somehow, screaming racism because Biden was very intentional about wanting a black woman on the Supreme Court. And here's the thing, I know the people who are listening to this, y'all get it, but just in case a couple people who don't get it snuck in, I'm just gonna say this for y'all too. The reason why that is not racist is because if you are a black person or a person of color, that if companies are not intentional about making sure that you are represented or there is representation somewhere, then by default, there's not going to be. And that's why there hasn't been. That's why the Supreme Court has had so many just white man after white man after white man. That is why the presidency has had white man after white man after white man. Like, I saw some stats on TikTok that was like 90% of like CEOs of companies in America are like are white men, even though white men represent 30% of the country. That's what happens when you aren't intentional about making sure black people and people of color are in these positions, because people just choose people who look like them. They do. And those are the people that they gravitate towards the most. Those are people that they like the most. And hell, sometimes it is just flat out blatant racism that they will choose somebody white over you off the strength of them being white and you're not. So you have to be intentional about diversity, about representation, because if you're just blindly choosing, get this, the blind choosing is really not so blind, actually. So, girl, it's so frustrating. When I see them complain about racism, it's just the gag of all gags to me. It is the gag of all gags to me.
The people holding the keys complaining about getting in the dough.
Girl.
Make it make sense. Full circle to our Patreon conversation too.
It really is. It really is. And when I tell you that literally the last thing this country ever needed was another white man on the Supreme Court, literally last thing that we needed. So I'm sorry, Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell, Ted Cruz, y'all, you idiots. Nobody is losing sleep that there's gonna be one less white man on the Supreme Court. Nobody's losing sleep over that, except possibly you, I guess. Ugh.
Honestly, they not.
Can they
not.
fake it? Can they mask it at least? Like, they're so blatant. It's so frustrating. So frustrating.
Yeah, it's just gotten way out of control with that party, to the point it's like they do everything but say that they're racist.
Yeah,
that's too far. Calling them racist, that's way too far. But they'll do everything around it. It's wild.
They will, but
it's really wild.
You know what? Let's not even focus on all that idiocy that went on, because there were a ton of bright spots during those confirmation hearings. The real outlier for me was Senator Cory Booker. He showed up and showed out as always. Like, there's this amazing clip going around of him really giving Ketanji, or Judge Ketanji, her flowers and acknowledging the magnitude of the situation, and how so many of us are able to see our moms, our aunts, our sisters, our cousins, our friends in her, And the fact that
Ourselves.
in ourselves, exactly, and the fact that that glass ceiling is wide open, and busted open, the fact that our kids are not going to grow up in a world where there's never been a black woman on the Supreme Court, like that is amazing. That deserves celebrating. And like he said, like we're not going to let them steal our joy, because this is a whole moment. Like, even though as far as the makeup of the court, it's not making a huge difference when it comes to politics, at least not for now, but it is making a huge difference when it comes to representation and fairness, and having courts and systems that really reflect the people of this country. And there's just nobody more qualified, more willing, more able, and more amazing for this role than just, actually, she's too good for it. At this point, I wouldn't even be surprised if
Yeah,
she was like, you know
period.
what? Actually, I think I'm good.
Nah.
Nobody would fault her for that. Um, and another one of my favorite moments was, there's this really amazing picture that was taken by a black photographer. I'm not sure the photographer's name, but I know it's a black photographer, where you see Judge Ketanji and in the picture, and you can see her daughter in the background, and her daughter is looking at her with this look of just amazement and awe and love and support. And my gosh, that was, I feel like that picture is gonna live rent free in my head for years to come. Like, it was just
Mhm.
so amazing, so amazing. Like, she deserves it. She's so beautiful. I mean, and the fact that her name is Katanji, the fact that she has locks, like, come on, black girl magic. Like, come on.
Yeah, it just could not get any better, any
Mm-hmm.
blacker. I love
Mm,
it. I'm here for it. Yeah.
mm, for real.
Yeah. It makes sense that photographer was black. Like I just don't feel like
Yes.
somebody else would get the significance of snapping that pic.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. So yeah. So after this, once she gets confirmed, which is looking really good that she is gonna get confirmed, all we need is a black man on Supreme Court, because Clarence Thomas don't count, and y'all not gonna tell me that he do.
Child, all right, this has been the episode. Oh my god.
When I tell y'all, I despise that man with everything inside of me. And the fact that it's just come out recently that his wife, during the January 6th insurrection, was like texting people in the house to basically, or texting people in the government to keep it going, to overthrow the election, to all that. Like, his wife is just a straight up true blue Trumpy racist. Is just the icing on the cake when it comes to that man. Like, I can't believe that
Who
he's just
leaked the
allowed.
text?
I think it maybe came out in court or something like that. I'm not sure if it
Ooh.
came out in court or if it was leaked. I'm not really sure, but come on, like, how can't we all get on the same page that it's very bad for a Supreme Court justice's spouse to be saying things like that and going to Trump rallies and stuff? Like,
Yeah, how impartial can you be?
you're not. It's not like it's your child, and because even though your child, that's still very close, but at least your child is their own person, their own adult. They can have their own views.
Mhm.
9 times out of 10, you got the same views as your spouse. Come on. 9 times, especially when your views are that strong. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just absolutely disgusting to me that he's just allowed to be on the Supreme Court until he decides that he doesn't want to be. And he is the person to replace the actual first, black Supreme Court justice, who was an amazing person. So it's just gross. Like, I despise everything that Clarence Thomas stands for. I truly do. Uh
Yeah. I mean, the lifetime appointment of that is a blessing and a curse. Cause Lord knows if it was not lifetime, they'd be trying to get her out of here once she get confirmed.
Thurgood
So
Marshall deserved better. He deserved a better
absolutely. Yeah.
replacement than Clarence freaking Thomas. And yeah, I yeah, you're right. I guess, like you said, the lifetime appointment is a blessing and a curse, but at this point, it's more of a curse than a blessing. Than a blessing, because this is just like, he's just so gross. He's just so gross. Uh, I can't. But yeah, Myra, is there anything else you wanted to talk about this week? Anything that comes to mind? Anything that sticks out? Anything you have coming up that you want to share with the peeps?
Nothing nice.
Well, I didn't say it has to be nice now.
Now we gotta go. So it's fine.
Okay, yeah, guys, give us some feedback on the episode. Hop in our DMs or always comment on the episode post. If you're a part of the Patreon Facebook group, write us on the Facebook group and let us know what you think about the Patreon, what you think about the episode. If you want to give any feedback, share any potential episode topics, we are always open. Not to say we're always going to do it, but we'll always at least listen and consider it. So
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. We love feedback for sure.
We do. We do. Positive, well, not positive feedback, but respectful. That's the thing. It has to be respectful. Not always positive, but always respectful because, the block stay
Yeah,
hot.
and constructive. Like we can't change our voice.
Constructive. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you don't like the way we sound, this is just not the podcast for you.
Yeah.
So constructive.
Yep. Absolutely, absolutely. And shout out to all our new listeners, new patrons. It definitely seems like we got a lot of new people in the building since Go Wild, which is amazing. We are happy that y'all are here. We're happy that y'all are listening to us. And yeah, leave us a 5-star review on iTunes if you enjoy the podcast. We appreciate that.
Yeah, on Spotify as well. It's easier on
Yeah.
Spotify. It's just a click of a button.
But yeah.
You do have to listen on Spotify in order to leave a review. You can't just be an a-hole. Shout out to Spotify for that.
I
Not
know.
just letting random people just mass one review folks. But yeah, we appreciate y'all so much for that.
We do, guys. Thank y'all so much for listening. As always, we will be back next week.
Bye, guys.